video for you guys. Still working on our setup over here, so bear with me. Today I want to talk to y'all about politics and music. And as a songwriter, as a producer, as an engineer, how involved should you get? How much should you say? And how much of a stand you should actually take? So right now, it's 2020, June 2020, and we've been dealing with a lot. I just did a video about how everybody's out of quarantine for the coronavirus situation. And besides that, we've been dealing with the Black Lives Matter movement regarding the lately departed George Floyd, and not even lately departed, the murder of George Floyd. I'm sure you know all about it, so I'm not even going to get into that. But how much should you say? Should you not say anything? Should you stand up or should you not stand up? Should you show support? Should you not show support? If you're black, if you're white, what should you actually do? So I'm just going to speak on that today. I'm going to speak on a little bit of what have people already done in the music industry. So we've seen a lot of people give their opinions and say how they feel about the situation, whether they agree or they don't agree. A lot of people in the music industry have given their opinion as well. One opinion that has kind of went awry recently is the opinion of Trina. Trina from Miami, the rapper. She has a radio show with Trick Daddy in Miami, and Trina recently said some things regarding the movement, and she got really, really, really bad backlash for it. Trina basically said some negative things about how, because during the whole situation of the Black Lives Movement matter that's been going on right now, there's been a lot of looting as well as the protesting. There's a lot of peaceful protesting, of course, but there's been some looting. And Trina was very upset about it. A lot of people were upset about it. A lot of celebrities were upset about it. They have, lost businesses due to the looting. And, anybody who loses some money is going to be upset about that regardless. But Trina was basically saying that her friend's store was looted, and how regardless of any point that anybody's trying to make, that how that's messed up. And she made some terminology that was not nice. Okay, not nice to being nice. She made some terminology regarding saying calling people animals that were looted and stuff like that, and just some derogatory statements, and she got backlash for it crazy. Now we all know that we live in the cancel culture, and it's really scary for people to actually be able to say what they really want to say or what they really mean about a situation, because you have that hanging over your head that you could be canceled. So if you're doing anything in this world where you're trying to get some recognition for, be famous for, you really have to walk on, you're walking on thin ice when you decide to stand up for something. Another actor recently was protesting and said, oh God, I hope I'm able to work after this. Because a lot of times you can be blackballed for the things that you say or you standing up. And a lot of times it's the right thing to do, but you are risking your career. And a lot of people work very hard for their career, like the situation with Colin Kaepernick. Anybody who's in sports and makes it to pro, you've been doing it your whole life. So to be, studying or practicing football your whole life, and to just get to this point where you have to decide to put your career to the side for your beliefs, your political beliefs, or, standing up for your rights as a human being, so that's a big step to make, to just be screw it, I'm gonna stand up for this. This is wrong. I don't want to, even if they take away the thing that I've worked my whole life for, I want to stand up and say something. So, even if it is something that's going to mess up your career, sometimes internally you don't care because you believe in the cause so much you feel like you need to say something. And there's also those times where you may believe something, but you don't feel like you need to be vocal about it. You still just want to, play your position and not be necessarily the person that needs to stand up and needs to say something. And, you are risking a lot of times when you do decide to say something. you are risking it not going the way you want it to go, or people, not agreeing with what you feel. Like with the situation with Trina, she feels, and that's another thing too, sometimes you're in a position where you can say whatever you want to say. You made your name, you've done what you need to do, you've gotten to the point where you want to be, and you're solidified where you're not worried about, being, where you're not worried about, being canceled, as they call it. But a lot of times that's not the case. And, you are, as people that's coming up, there's a lot of times too when these celebrities, they find out all of these things you did in the past, all of these things you said before, and they pull it up, and then, you got to deal with that. So now you have to deal with that now. So there's always that risk, and it's such a fine line, because you want to be true to yourself. And if you don't like gay people, you want to say you don't like gay people. If you are pro LGBT, you want to say that. If you love being black and you're upset about the police brutality that's going on, you want to say that. So you're running a fine line all the time from standing up for yourself and your career. And I'm feeling like that's gonna change, because a lot of things in the world in 2020 and moving forward is definitely changing. A lot of people are standing up and saying what they want to say, and still being able to have a career from it, or things being forgiven for things that they said in the past and still be able to have a career from it. So I believe it's totally up to you. There's a lot of times when you feel so compelled where you will say screw it, whatever happens happen. And I'm a big believer in being, if you have good intentions, whatever your feelings are, that it'll work out for you. You're not doing it on a negative vibe. You just want to get out how you feel and what you think, and you want to support a certain situation, then it should definitely work out for you. And sometimes if you hold it in too long and you're not able to say anything about something that you feel, it'll bother you. It will eat at you and make you feel less than. And you need to say what you need to say, and you need to let it out, and you need to, I don't want to advise people just don't give a fuck what anybody say. Just don't care about what other people think and say what you want to do. That is the basis of it. But I know that there are times when you do care, because you want something. You want to be a super producer. You want to get placements as a songwriter. And you don't want to be judged for your personal opinions about things. So you're in that fine line. But if it's bothering you so much, it's eating at you so much, you can't think of anything else but this thing, and it's every time you see it, you feel like you want to say something. If you feel that compelled, then you should do something. Then you should say something, and you should stand up. And you should stand up and pray on it. And like somebody recently told me, do anything you think you should do if you're able to deal with the consequences, whether they're good or bad. If the consequences turn out bad and you stand up for what you believed in, you have to be able to accept it. Like the whole Colin Kaepernick situation, it turned out so bad for this man. He hasn't played football in years now. I think 2 or 3 years now he hasn't played football, and it bothered him that much where he didn't give a fuck. He had to say what he needed to say. It was eating at him. He needed to make a stand and do what he wanted to do, and at the end of the day, I always say, do whatever you can look yourself in the mirror for. If you do something and the next day you're not able to look yourself in the mirror, then maybe you should not have done it, because you have to live with you. There's nobody else in your mind. There's nobody else in your head. When all the world shuts down, it's you in your mind. It's you in your head. And you need to say what you need to say. Sometimes even saying something negative is a learning experience. Like Trina recently made a statement, apologizing for some of the things that she said and just explaining more how she felt and why she said what she said. And she learned from it. A lot of people learn from negative things that they do or say by other people around them, explaining things to them, like a lot of people, there's a big movement also, the All Lives Matter movement, trying to, combat the Black Lives Matter, the Black Lives Movement matter. And a lot of people that support Black Lives Matter are trying to explain to the people on the other side why it is not, we're not saying that all lives don't matter, but why at this moment in time Black Lives Matter is something that people are screaming. And if you feel like all lives matter, maybe you need to put it out there so somebody could teach you why they feel the adjacent to it, So that's another thing why maybe it's a good thing, because even if it's something negative that you feel, you may can learn from it. You could be ostracized, yes, but you may also can learn from it, And if you can learn from it and make yourself a better person, that's always something to strive for. making yourself a better person. That's what we're here for. Every day, every week, every year, learning something new, moving forward in some type of way to make yourself a better person, you know? So I support people standing up for what they believe in. I support people wanting to not say much and go in the just blend in the crowd. If you don't feel like you're strong enough to deal with what could happen or the outcome of you saying so much, that's okay too. What I don't support is the trolling, making up fake accounts on social media, not standing by those accounts and acting like, saying things, hiding behind something, it's a fake account, you make it up and it's really you, but you don't want people to know it's you because you want to give your real opinion. That's not cool. That's not cool. That's just not, and a lot of people do that because they feel like, I need to get this off my chest. I get that. I understand that, but that's not cool. You should not, if you aren't able to say it and stand there on your square and look the people dead in the eye and say, this is how I feel, then you should need to have a self-reflection with yourself on, damn, is the way I feel wrong that I need to hide? You know what I'm saying? Because if I feel like it's right and I feel like what I'm saying is a good thing and I'm standing, I feel I believe it, why am I afraid to let people know that I believe it? Even if they come at you for believing what you believe, like I said, it could be a learning experiment. And I feel like the music industry is a lot more forgiving than a lot of other industries. Music is about art, us artists creating nothing from something, and there's a lot of different interpretations of what art is. So there's a lot of different interpretations of people in art and their thoughts and their views and what they decide to do and stuff like that. So it's not like industry like politics. You know what I'm saying? You say something in politics, people may not forgive you or never stand by you again or support you again. I think in music, we have a little bit of a leeway because it's music, So that's a plus on our side as, artists, musicians, songwriters. It's a plus on our side to be able to stand up. And I've learned throughout the years that the more you stand for something, the more people appreciate you, and the more you are looked at in a different light. If you don't do anything, nobody knows how to categorize you or what box to put you in. So by doing something, there's an audience out there that you can identify with, that can identify with you and saying like, oh, they feel like that. Oh, I feel like this too. There's that audience. So that's something to keep in mind as well. There may be, it's so many people in this world, somebody got to feel the way you feel. And look for your posse, look for your crew, look for your people that's out there feeling the same way you feel. That may be very helpful to you. So it's so many reasons for you to try to stand up and say something. Then there are reasons for you to not say anything at all. So during this movement going on right now, me personally, I've protested many times before in many different protests regarding African Americans. I'm black, if you can't tell. Like, I'm black. But I protested before, and at this moment right now, I was unable to protest. And I seen a post on Instagram saying like there's many different forms of protest. There's a lot of different things you could do if you can't be out there on the front line right now. And it stuck with me by them saying that. And I thought about, what do I do? I'm a writer. That's what I do. Before I wrote songs, I was a poet, published poet. So that's my foundation. So I said, and I haven't wrote a poem in a long time because I've been very focused on music and stuff like that. So honestly, a long time. But I decided to write a poem. Something to just get out what my feelings were, what my thoughts were from seeing this on the news every day, from being a black woman in this world, and the things I endure when I go out the country, or when I'm just in my neighborhood, or what I see my brothers go through or stuff like that, or my family members. So I needed to say something. So I wrote a poem. It's called The Truth. And at the end of this video, I made a little video for my poem or whatever. At the end of this video, I'm going to play my poem. And when I decided to write it, after writing a couple lines, I knew where it was going, and I felt like it was the truth. I had to say the truth, and I really wanted to say the truth. And sometimes the truth offends people. So I was realizing, damn, if I put this out, this could be offensive to some. And I decided to still do it because it was my truth. And if you follow me on social media, or if you follow me, period, I'm on the internet just about my music. I don't really put too much personal things out there or whatever. And I have my reasons for that. I really want people to focus on my music. So that's what I'm gonna, go hard and continue to put out there. But I needed to write this poem. I had to write this poem. And I needed to speak what I think the truth is. So at the end of this video, please stay tuned and just listen to my poem. It's probably like a minute, 90 seconds long. Just to see my thoughts on Black Lives Matter and the whole George Floyd situation and so many other lives that have been lost to senseless brutality. That whole Breonna Taylor thing, that one is something I just can't wrap my mind around. Them just coming through your door and just killing this girl. Like what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, and there's so many other crimes. Sometimes, honestly, I try not to watch these videos. I know a lot of us do try not to watch them because they're so intense and it's so heartbreaking and sad. But, I think about the Philando Castro, the Philando video. I don't want to mispronounce his last name. Rest in peace. And just seeing that lady in the car and the little girl, and it's just like, oh my God, like, it's like so sad. And these are the things that we're dealing with right now in the 21st century. There's been so many things that happen in the history of the African American that are just like detrimental, like, so it's something that we've dealt with for a long time. It's something that we want to stop. Of course we want it to stop. We want to be treated well. African Americans are just like any other person, where we're not out there trying to promote this negativity or have this negativity come towards us. We have crime like every other nationality has crime. We do, just like everybody else, and it's like continuously this fight for us to have equality, and it's really messed up. It's just much more than messed up, it's more than messed up. So I had to get this poem out. I had to say what I needed to say. I hope people listen to it and maybe learn something from it, because that's the reason why I wrote it, to tell my truth and for people to learn something from it. This is not a channel where we're going to be talking about political issues like this, but this is so big right now and there's so much happening right now. I really needed to state it. And I know there's a lot of people, songwriters, artists, producers, engineers, sitting down thinking like, should I say something? Should I not say something? I don't want to be blackballed. I don't want to. And then there's people that's even, especially like the white people, feeling like, damn, if I don't say something, will they blackball me? If you feel compelled, don't do it just for clout. Don't be out there just saying something just because everybody's saying something. We've seen a lot of that on the internet as well, too. Do it if you really feel to. Do it if you really feel to. And what you do, like I wrote a poem. And a lot of my friends and family was like, but you wrote a poem? Like, what's a poem going to do? That ain't going to help us with the revolution. But it was what I needed to do. It's what I could do at the time. And it helped me, So if you do something small, like just write hashtag BLM on one of your grand posts, or, do the blackout thing on support a black business. Just something that you feel like you need to do for you to be, to show, to fill in your heart, then you need to do it. Even if you anti-Black Lives Matter and that's what you feel, like I said, say that. Put that out there. Let somebody teach you something. You never know what you can learn by having your opinion out there. And it's more positives you'll gain than negatives, in my opinion. Even though in this world, the comment section on some of these posts be ridiculous, and some people will read you. You have to be prepared to, the consequences for whatever you decide to do. So good luck. I hope this video helped a little bit. And stay true to your heart, stay true to yourself. Like I said, don't do nothing you're not able to look yourself in the mirror for. And stay tuned to my poem. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. Thanks again. This is Songwriter ShayGenre. Talk to y'all later. Bye. This is me. I am all that you see. I'm just a sister, just a brother, just somebody's mother. I'm not a threat, cause you feel threatened, cause you know you brought me here against my will, and my family and children you killed. Cause you know in your heart I should hate you, but every day I just push through, do my best with what I'm given. and you still hate me for how I'm living. First I just wanted to survive, but then I learned how to thrive. Even when all you did was try to create my demise, you like goddamn, still a rise. See, my death won't wash away your shame, can't make you forget who's actually to blame. That's why when you see me, I inflict an innate pain. It's the guilt you have in your heart. That's why you get nervous when you see me in the park. In your mind, you can't understand how I still see light in all this dark. You're always afraid that I'll strike, so you try to cast the first blow. But what you really don't know is you're the one who will never win. How can you when your heart and mind is full of sin? You can't forget what you did, so you'll always be on defense. Just my presence makes you flinch. In the end, it's you who loses. I have your mind, your thoughts belong to me. That's why you hate us, 'cause you know it's you who will never be free.